Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are tackling a really massive milestone for your career. We're talking about mastering ISO 42001 and giving you the exact blueprint you need to become a certified AI lead auditor. This isn't just about reading some dry standard. It's about equipping you with the tactical knowledge to step into literally any organization and critically evaluate how they're managing one of the most powerful technologies on the planet.
So ask yourself, are you ready to audit the future of AI? Artificial intelligence is moving at absolute lightning speed right now, and organizations desperately need professionals who can ensure these systems are safe, transparent, and accountable. In this explainer, you are the protagonist. We're going to arm you with the specific, testable knowledge you need to walk into any audit scenario with total confidence. All right, here's our tactical syllabus for your upcoming exam. We'll start with the AI governance imperative, then decode the AIMS framework. From there, we'll hit AI risk assessment strategies, move right into executing the internal audit, and then wrap the whole thing up with the auditor's playbook. Let's just dive straight in.
Module 1. The AI Governance Imperative. Understanding the stakes.
So before you start memorizing clauses, you absolutely have to understand the stakes. Knowing why we audit is honestly just as important as knowing how to execute the audit itself. Look, AI offers incredible societal benefits, right? But it also presents unique, high-stakes risks. We're talking about things like societal bias, controversial social scoring, or even emotion recognition deployed in workplaces and schools. ISO 42001 is a real game changer because it's the very first standard designed to govern these specific risks. When you audit against this standard, you're helping an organization build trust, establish accountability, and crucially, you're supporting their urgent compliance with major regulations like the EU AI Act.
Okay, Module 2. Decoding the AIMS framework. Your blueprint.
Understanding exactly what AIMS stands for is the absolute foundation of your exam prep. It stands for Artificial Intelligence Management System. For your exam, you need to know this definition cold. Basically, AIMS includes the policies, procedures, roles, risk controls, and monitoring mechanisms that an organization actively uses to design, develop, deploy, and manage AI responsibly. Seriously, lock this baseline vocabulary into your mind right now because every single other clause builds right on top of this.
Now, what's really interesting here is how the classic Plan, Do, Check, Act, or PDCA cycle perfectly overlays onto the AIMS model. You establish the plan, implement and operate, that's your do, you monitor and review performance, the check, and finally, you maintain and improve the system, which is the act. This continuous improvement engine is the absolute beating heart of ISO 42001, and as an auditor, you're constantly going to be looking for evidence of this exact cycle in motion.
The standard itself flows logically from clauses 1 to 10, and heads up, examiners love testing this to make sure you actually understand systems thinking. Pay special attention to the core operational clauses here. Clause 4 sets the context of the organization. Clause 5 establishes leadership and commitment. Clause 6 is all about planning and objectives. Clause 8 is the actual operation and risk assessment. And Clause 10 drives improvement. You'll definitely need to know exactly how these clauses interlock to form one complete management system.
Moving on to Module 3, AI Risk Assessment Strategies, Tackling Uncertainty. Think of it this way. On one side, organizations face the massive, looming weight of inherent AI risks. But on the other side, the auditor and the AIMS framework act as a sort of protective umbrella. Now, risk is defined here specifically as the effect of uncertainty. So your job as a lead auditor is to verify that the organization's protective umbrella is perfectly balanced against the uncertainty of those potentially devastating risks.
Listen up, because here is a massive exam-focused callout for you. Under Clause 8.2, organizations are strictly required to conduct AI risk assessments at planned intervals, like annually, or honestly, whenever significant changes happen in the AI system. They absolutely must follow the specific risk assessment methodology laid out in Clause 6.1.2. But what's the most critical part for you as an auditor? Well, they have to document and retain the results of all those AI risk assessments. If you ask for the risk assessment and there's no documented evidence, you have to raise a nonconformity finding. Without it, there's just no verifiable proof that they're systematically managing the risks of their AI models. It really is that black and white.
Module 4. Executing the internal audit. Clause 9.
All right, this strict standard operating procedure is absolutely crucial to memorize for the exam. First, you gather information from various sources. Then you perform rigorous verification of that data. After that, you compare that verified info against your audit criteria, which is the ISO standard itself.
This leads to a formal review process, and that finally allows you to draw your objective audit conclusions. Do not skip a single step here.
See, you aren't just casually glancing at documents. You are filtering raw, unstructured information sources into solid audit evidence, converting that evidence into clear audit findings, and finally arriving at unshakable audit conclusions. It's a beautifully logical flow, really. It ensures every single conclusion you make is rooted in hard, verified facts.
Now, as part of the performance evaluation in Clause 9, top management has to review the aims at planned intervals. And I really have to warn you here, examiners frequently test these specific output bullet points. You've got to ensure the management review outputs include decisions on continual improvement opportunities, requirements for any necessary changes to the aims, and again, documented evidence of these review results. No documentation? Then there's absolutely no proof of management engagement.
Finally, Module 5, the Auditor's Playbook, Conduct and Evidence.
Being a highly effective lead auditor isn't just about quoting technical clauses from memory. It's heavily about your tactical investigative skills. Like, where do you actually find objective evidence? Well, you have to look way beyond just reading policies in a comfortable boardroom. You need to gather evidence through direct interviews with real people, physically observing activities and processes right there on the floor, measuring the effectiveness of those processes, and digging deep into the records and data summaries. You always have to verify the reality of the situation on the floor against what's written in the paperwork.
And keep in mind, passing the certification exam also means deeply understanding professional conduct. During an audit, you absolutely do want to be calm, polite, and reassuring. Do explain the clear purpose of your visit, and always talk directly to the people actually performing the tasks. On the flip side, never talk down to anyone and never act superior. Building genuine rapport during an audit is honestly just as critical to uncovering the truth as your technical knowledge is.
When you finally step up to be the lead auditor, your duties expand exponentially. You're no longer just managing the audit criteria, you're managing a living, breathing human team. You must intelligently balance the strengths and weaknesses of your individual auditors, manage the uncertainty of achieving the audit objectives, resolve conflicts on the fly, protect your team's health and safety, and ultimately bear the full responsibility of preparing and completing that final, conclusive audit report. We're going to leave you with this final, really powerful quote straight from the standard's core objectives. Your ultimate mission is to ensure AI is transparent, fair, secure, and auditable. By mastering these concepts, you are totally ready to ace your certification exam and ensure that the explosive future of artificial intelligence is built on a solid foundation of rigorous accountability. But ask yourself this. As AI continues to evolve at such a blistering pace, will our auditing standards actually be able to keep up? Or are we already chasing a moving target? The future of AI governance really does start with you. Keep studying, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.